Hey guys, we are back with some more Edmonton Oilers franchise mode, and in this one, we have another big offseason coming up because we are going to be making a push this season, as this team obviously looks like it's starting to really get better. We have obviously McDavid, Draisaitl, Marner, Puljujarvi's getting better, Nuge, Dzingel, Gagne, he had a solid season last year, same thing for Ratty. And it looks like we're really starting to come into our own. Now, defense is obviously still an issue. And goaltending, there's a little bit of uncertainty in the future of Robin Lehner as he does not want to sign an extension. And I'll get to that later. Because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go out to free agency and we're going to sign a forward here. And it is not Nicholas Backstrom. It is going to be Pat Maroon. We are bringing the big rig back to Edmonton. That is right. He's a power forward. He'd be a perfect fourth liner for our team. 23 points last year, 35 the year before. Consistent 100-point guy. I like his defensive ratios, at least the first year. Last year they were a little off, but you know what? For the type of player Maroon is, and I've seen Maroon play personally, even if for only a couple of years will really help us out, especially on that fourth line. Now, he wants 2 years. I'm going to give him 1 year, and we're going to give him, we'll say, 2.15 for 1 year. Hopefully, that'll work for him. And the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go back into the contracts, and we are going to offer some extensions. A couple of extensions, actually. So the first one would be to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He's currently making $6 million for 1 more year. We know that he is a big part of our forward core. Only had 47 points last year, but 66 the year before that. And obviously, if we can keep this forward group together, the top 6 forward group that we currently have, I would love that because it's already really good. Nuge is already 27, so when we take a look at the contract that he wants 5 years at 5.8. That's perfect because we have Leon Draisaitl also on a 5-year contract, and we also have, who else is it? I think it's Darnell Nurse. Yeah, Darnell Nurse is also on a 5-year deal. So the 5-year deal seems to be the term that we're going for all of our major players here, and I'm glad that Nuge wants 5 years. So now we can really take him down in terms of salary. I'm gonna try offering him like 5.35 for 5 years, and if he accepts that, I think that'll be a steal for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Now I'm gonna hold off on Larson just because he's a defensive defenseman. He has been doing fine so far, but his giveaway to takeaway ratio hasn't been pretty. He does hit though to make up for it. And obviously, he's not really one to get much offense. But we'll see how he simulates this upcoming year, especially with who we're bringing in. Jesse Puljujarvi, he is a different story in terms of the contract length that we're going to be going for because he's only 22 years of age. And he's, obviously going to be a huge part of this team for years to come. So what we're going to do for Puljujarvi is we're going to put him on the same length as Mitch Marner. Marner's currently on a 7-year deal, as you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Mitch Marner. So we're going to do the same thing for Jesse Puljujarvi. So we'll put him on 7 years and we'll give him we'll give him $6 million for 7 years and we'll see how he likes that. And that is those are the only extensions that we are going to be giving out as of right now. And again, I want to wait on Larson for later, so we'll see what happens with those two. Hopefully both of them re-sign. I don't think anyone else wants an extension in terms of at least who I would want to give an extension to, so that's it for that. And the last major thing that we are going to be doing, we are going to be going back after that Tyson Barrie trade that we attempted to make in the last one. Because we are a contender according to the game. And if we can get Tyson Barrie on this roster, I kind of agree with that. Because the one thing that we really lacked last season was an elite offensive defenseman. And by acquiring Tyson Barrie, we would have that elite offensive defenseman. 20 goals, 34 assists last year. He is 28 years of age now. He might turn 29 before the start of next season, but I still don't think that's really a big deal with that kind of contract that's tradable, especially in the last couple of years. Even if he drops, being only $5.64 million, that's very much tradable as long as we trade him at the right time. So we're going to be putting Benning in this deal. This is effectively going to be the same deal as what we offered the Colorado Avalanche before, except instead of the second round pick, we are going to be trading them our first. As I was initially hesitant to trade that first, but when you think about it, it does make sense for a team like the Edmonton Oilers, who are making a push for the playoffs, and not only making a push for the playoffs at this point in time, but making a push for the cup, because we did make the playoffs last year. That was our, re-inaugurational year, I suppose, of getting into the playoffs and reintroducing ourselves to the feel of being in the playoffs on a consistent basis. And getting Tyson Barrie is really going to give us an extra push that we didn't have last year in any of our defensemen. Benning, obviously, you're not really going to get too much offense out of. Adam Larson is a defensive defenseman. Bowen Byram and Evan Bouchard, if they do come in next year, I wouldn't imagine either of them are going to be lighting up the league, at least in the first couple of seasons, right? So, and then who else do you have? You have Darnell Nurse, who, I guess he's maybe good for 20, 25 points, but I would say that's about it when you take a look at Darnell Nurse. Yeah, he had 27 last year, and then Clefbaum, he's good, but again, around the same kind of point production as Darnell Nurse is going to be. So by adding that elite offensive defenseman to this blue line, we are going to be a very dangerous team next year. And you know what? We're banking on that first round pick. By trading it, we are banking on it being a low first round pick, meaning, 27, 28, hopefully 31 by the time everything's all said and done this year. So we are making a push for that cup by making this trade. We're making a huge statement by making this trade. And I'm confident that this team will be able to make that push for the cup, because I like what I saw last year out of this team from the series against Dallas. Even though we didn't win it, we did show a lot of fight, and that we are capable of winning a playoff series, because we were one goal away. We were one goal away from winning that series. We were up in the third period of game number 7. Now, obviously, the veteran presence of the Dallas Stars took over at that point, but I think by adding a skilled defenseman in Tyson Barrie, you really can't go wrong. And as long as Barrie doesn't get injured, we should be fine with him in the lineup. Proposed trade accepted. There you go. So welcome to the Edmonton Oilers, Tyson Barrie. And he looks pretty good in orange, I gotta say. So, with all of that being done, we'll now simulate ahead. And I already went out to sign some better scouts to replace some of our other scouts that aren't quite up to par. And of course, we went after Peter Mrazek in the last one, so we'll see who we get out of this free agency. I'm hoping, obviously, for Patrick Maroon and Peter Mrazek to sign, but we are also looking at Nuge and Jesse Puljujarvi re-signing. So here's all the scouts. I probably should have started that before I started talking. Here's all these scouts. There we go. Come on, go through this faster. There's Patrick Maroon, Evan Bouchard and a 7th for Tyler Myers. Absolutely not. And there is Nuge accepting his contract renewal, and there is Puljujarvi accepting his contract renewal. Very nice. Okay, Mrazek did sign. Okay, just making sure. So now our NHL roster is looking like Leonard and Mrazek in net. Defensively, Tyson Barrie, Clefbaum, Larson, Nurse, Bear, Bouchard, and potentially Bowen Byram, depending on how he grows. And forward-wise, McDavid, Draisaitl, Marner, Puljujarvi, Nuge, Dzingel, Gagne, Maroon, Ratty, Kara, Larson, and Kyler Yamamoto. I have this feeling that this is going to be the breakout year for Kyler Yamamoto. He may not grow that much over the course of the offseason, but even if he's a 78, 79 overall, I still want to give him the chance in the NHL because he's already 21. He's considered a depth forward. I figure he's seen enough AHL ice now. He's been there for 2 years. His production has kind of stagnated a little bit in terms of his point scoring. He's gotten better defensively, it looks like, just based off his plus minus, and also based off of his takeaway to giveaway ratio. Now he's obviously not going to be much of a hitter, given that he's only 5'8", but you know, I think this has got to be the year for Yamamoto to at the very least start developing in the NHL. So there is our lineup for year number 3 that we are now going into, and I'll see you guys in the preseason. So we are now in the preseason of year number 3. Let's check out our lineups for the start of the year. Goaltenders, Leonard Mrazek, as expected. Let's see in the system, Skinner has grown to his 76. That's not that bad. He's already 21 though, so hopefully we see some more growth out of him this year. If not, he might be trade bait. And defensively, Tyson Barrie, 87. And let's see, yes, he is indeed 29, but that's not that big of a deal, especially if we, once again, trade him at the right time, if we do want to do that going forward. Clefbaum, 85, Nurse, 84, Larson, 84, Bear, 80, Bouchard, 80, so that's good. Caleb Jones is 77. He didn't grow at all. We'll send him back down to the minors for right now. Let's see in the system. Lagesson, 75. Samurukov, 72. Forward-wise, McDavid, 95. Draisaitl, 90. Marner, 89. Puljujarvi, 87. So I'm glad we re-signed him. Nuge, still an 85. That's good. And of course, he's got that brand new extension. Dzingel, 83. Gagne stayed at 81, so that's very good. Nice veteran presence there. Kara, 80. Maroon, 80. Ratty, 80. Larson, 79. Yamamoto is a 78. Okay. So I think he's going to sort of be in the same situation that Jesse Puljujarvi was in year number 1 when we started him on the 4th line. I think that's sort of what we're going to be doing with Kyle Yamamoto, at least to start out. And Marody, yeah, he could go to the AHL. So, now the question is, well, actually, first of all, before we go to check what we were about to check, let's check out the AHL forwards. So Marody, Maximov, 76, Cave, 74, Hebig, and VC, and McLeod, 73, and then Dickinson, 68. All right, now, we are going to check out the growth of Bowen Byram. If he is a 79 or an 80, we're signing him. And he is indeed an 80 overall. Bowen Byram, welcome to the Edmonton Oilers. And you know what, we may as well sign Wisniewski as well. He's already a 70 overall, so we'll definitely get him on the AHL team. So now, with Bowen Byram on the team, come on up. There you go. Now we have the option of Bear, Byram, and Bouchard. The 3 Bs. So, yeah, our defensive core, all of a sudden, with Tyson Barrie in there, and then Byram and Bouchard coming up, looking much better. Forward-wise, Wisniewski's down there in the AHL, and obviously, Yamamoto is going to get his chance this year. So, we'll see what we can come up with. And actually, I'm going to call someone up just as a injury replacement for it. So, yeah, we can call Marody up. So, here are the lines for your year number 3 Edmonton Oilers. First line is Ryan Dzingel, McDavid, and Marner. So, the same top 6 as last year. Second line, Nuge, Draisaitl, Puljujarvi. Third line is Johan Larsson with Gagne and Ratty. That seemed to work well last year. And then Patrick Maroon, Kara, and Kyler Yamamoto all together. I want the 6'3" and 6'4" guys with the 5'8" Kyler Yamamoto. Protect him a little bit. Maybe he could get some more offense that way. Being a little bit more confident around guys who are, you know, a head taller than him. And then Clefbaum and Barrie are on the top 2. Nurse and Larson on the top 4. And then on the top 6, the 2 rookies, Bowen Byram and Evan Bouchard, are together on the same pair. Power play, Puljujarvi, McDavid, and Marner with Barrie and Clefbaum. Second line power play, Nuge, Draisaitl, and Dzingel with Nurse and Bouchard. Four-man power play is basically the same. Penalty kill, Draisaitl, Larson, Nurse, and Barry. And then Kara, Dzingel, Klefbom, and Larson. Not getting Bowen Byram on there just yet because I don't want to put that much pressure, that much weight in his shoulders in his first pro season. Bouchard is a little bit different because he's already played 2 pro seasons in the AHL, whereas Bowen Byram is coming straight out of the WHL. So I want to give him, a little a little bit of an adjustment period to adjust to pro hockey in general, whereas, I think that Bouchard is capable of playing on the power play at the very least, given his already 2 years of pro experience. 4-on-4, McDavid and Marner with Klefbom and Barry. Then Draisaitl and Puljujarvi with Nurse and Larson. And then we have Nuge and Dzingel with Byram and Bouchard. 3-on-3, McDavid, Marner, and Barry. Draisaitl, Puljujarvi, and Klefbom. Nuge, Dzingel, and Larson. Extra attackers, McDavid and Draisaitl. Shootout, McDavid, Marner, Draisaitl, Nuge, and Puljujarvi. In goal, Leonard and Mrazek. And scratched are Marody and Ethan Bear to start out the season. Now let's check out the AHL real quick. Nikita Wisniewski is on the second line currently with Hebig and Vesey. And then Ryan McLeod is on a line with Christopher and Gust. And then the fourth line, I don't think is anything special for us. Defensively, Caleb Jones is with Lagesson and Samurakov and Day. I don't think any of these guys are prospects. And then in goal you have Stuart Skinner and Olivier Rodrigue. And scratched are Sharov, Wells, and Seal. I don't think any of those guys are prospects either. So we're really just concerned with Wisniewski, McLeod, and Skinner here down there in the AHL. That's about it. So we'll keep an eye on those guys for sure. But let's get the NHL season underway with these Edmonton Oilers. But first we're going to check out the captains and jerseys. So Draisaitl, of course, with the A, Nuge with the A, McDavid with the C. That looks good to me. Marody 21. Just looking for new numbers here. Larson, Maroon's number 12. Dzingel. Yamamoto is number 13. Bouchard is number 2. Barry's number 4. Byram 44. Mrazek 34. So the next thing that we're going to do just before we get the simulation underway is make sure that all of our scouts are sent out somewhere different, because we don't need 2 scouts in the SHL, for example, or 2 scouts in the NLA. So we're going to make sure that all of our scouts are sent out to the proper regions, and of course we have 2 in the AHL North, 2 in the AHL Atlantic, so yeah, we got some work to do here. So we need 1 in the NHL Pacific, so Hunwick and Biron. Which one's better in the Pacific? That would be Hunwick, so we'll send this guy out to the Pacific Division. So Russia, Liga, SHL, Extra Liga, NLA, DEL, US East, US Central, US West, Q, O, Dub, AHL Atlantic, AHL North, AHL Central, just making sure we have everything covered. AHL Pacific, NHL Atlantic, NHL Metro, NHL Central, NHL Pacific. Alright, that should be everything. So all of our scouts are sent out to different regions. There should be no excuses as to why we don't have a solid draft this upcoming year. At least in terms of the depth of how many prospects are actually scouted. So now we will get to the preseason. Alright, so we went 4-3 in the preseason. Not going to bother playing a game this time around because I do want to do a commentary third in this one. So Leon Draisaitl with 11 points in the preseason. That's good for him. Let's check on... I'm just going to make sure that there's no lingering injuries happening going into the start of the regular season. We don't need any major injuries going into the start of the season, and it looks like we're all good. Yes, indeed. Just going to check the AHL real quick for the same thing, and it looks like everything is good. Yes, it is. So, we will get the regular season underway with your Year 3 Edmonton Oilers, and what better way to start it out than with the Battle of Alberta. So let's get up to that game against Calgary, and we'll do a commentary third. And we've already assigned the scouts. Everything's all good to go there. And we have a back-to-back, actually, with Calgary. So let's get into this first game and see what happens in Edmonton. First period, it's going to be a 2-1 lead for Edmonton Oilers. Goals by Puljujarvi and Yamamoto, the first goal of his NHL career. There you go. And then Hudon on Mrazek. Mrazek's in that. Okay. Second period, There you go. I'll take it. Valimaki on Mrazek, and then Captain Clutch, Connor McDavid on Riddick. So we're taking a 1-goal lead going to the third. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. Third period against the Calgary Flames. Monahan versus McDavid on the face-off, and that'll be a face-off win for Connor McDavid. And taken by Dzingel. Dzingel into the offensive zone for the Edmonton Oilers. On the boards, cuts into the middle, but taken by Lindholm. Lindholm up to Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey to Lindholm. Lindholm circling around, finds Hanifin. Back for him, down low, Gaudreau. Back for Lindholm, but taken by Dzingel. Dzingel gets it to Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner and the Edmonton Oilers will go offside. Oh my goodness. The offsides in this game. They just barely go offside. Ugh. All right. Anyway, face-off won back by McDavid. Barry dumps that in. Good dump by him in a 1-goal game. Hanifin pinned along the boards. He kicks it up to Gaudreau. Johnny Hockey to Monahan. Monahan with the shot, and that went top cheddar on Peter Mrazek, who tried to throw the glove up, but didn't get it up in time as that went. Oh my goodness, that was a beautiful shot there by Sean Monahan, I believe it was. Yes, indeed. First goal of the season for him. And that was a snipe. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Mrazek didn't really... Yeah, he didn't really have a chance there. He was he down? Oh, yeah, he went butterfly. That's why. Yep, that's going to beat you. That's going to beat you when you go butterfly in a shot like that. Oh, my goodness. So, Monahan from Gaudreau and Hanifin has this all tied up at 3. Clefbaum gets it back. And Barry circling around for Puljujarvi. Nuge takes it in the zone. Nuge looking for space. Can't find it as Giordano takes it and gets it up to Mangiapane. Mangiapane, I believe it's pronounced. Kachuk gets it from Backlund. Oh, to Hanifin. Hanifin down behind the net. Over to Mangiapane. Gotta you get used to saying that. And he gets it down below the goal line, and Clefbaum will pick it up. Draisaitl to Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi tries to find space and gets into the zone. Finds Nuge. Nuge can't get through Anderson, as Anderson will get that up to Matthew Kachuk. Kachuk into the zone for Calgary. He's looking for space. Anderson and Backlund almost had that one on front of the net and poked away there by Peter Mrazek. Matthew Kachuk behind the net, and he circles around, but Mrazek will throw that out. Clefbaum almost had a scary situation there, but he managed to get out of it cleanly. Anderson will take that. Gets it to Mangiapane. Mangiapane on the boards. Gets it back for number 18, James Neal. Kylington steps up for Calgary. Walks right in, and Clefbaum will pick that up. Johan Larsson will dump in. Riddick will play defenseman there and gets it for his defenseman, Rasmus Anderson. Gagne will take that along from Anderson. Gets it back for his defenseman, Nurse. Nurse to Ratty with the shot, and Riddick with the great save. Gagne on the face-off against Mark Jankowski. Neal and Frolik, his wingers. Johan Larsson and Ratty out there as well. Frolik will take that off the face-off. Through the neutral zone, finds James Neal. James Neal, little toe drag there, almost, and it gets through Peter Mrazek. Oh my goodness, Mrazek, you gotta have that. You gotta have that, Mrazek. James Neal, the real deal, gets the goal on a toe drag that looks like it should be saved, and yeah, you gotta have that, Mrazek. You gotta have that far out especially. Oh my god. Peter Mrazek not off to a good start here in his Edmonton Oilers career. That was a bad goal. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was just... that was ugly. Kylington to Jankowski. Jankowski will dump in, not with the 1-goal lead for the Calgary Flames as Frolik picks it up. Frolik to Jankowski. Jankowski tries to take that shot, but he whiffed on it. Johan Larsson will take it up for Edmonton, and he dumps in as well. Larsson tried to get it around to his guy, but found Kylington instead. Jankowski intercepts by Gagne. Gagne to Larson. Adam Larson with the shot that's blocked. And Anderson will pick it up for Calgary as he sends up Monahan on his way. Monahan tries to get through a lot of Edmonton Oilers, but Adam Larson will stop him. Larson into the zone. Goalie pulled for Edmonton. McDavid in front. Oh my goodness, he couldn't convert on anything there. But McDavid again, and Riddick will close the door on him. Marner down low in the corner to Larson. To Dzingel. Dzingel with the shot. And Giordano will pick that up for Calgary. He sends up for Gaudreau. Come on, boys. Pressure him. Giordano. Net empty. What's he gonna do? He's behind the net. And shot taken, but blocked by Dzingel. Very nice. Marner, 10 seconds remaining. What can he do? Sends McDavid on his way. McDavid with the shot. Oh my goodness. Dzingel down low. 3 seconds remaining. Can they do? Marner, the shot. Oh my goodness. What an intense end to that third period. But nonetheless, the Calgary Flames will come out on top. Well, we tried, but an unfortunate goal given up by Peter Mrazek late in the period really sealed the deal for the Calgary Flames. I mean, understandable on that snipe by Monahan, but that James Neal shot, yeah, this one right here, yeah, you gotta have that, Mrazek. Oh, jeez. Okay, so we're back in the menu. Let's go 1 month of simulating just to get a feel of how this team is going to simulate throughout the year. Obviously, it's only the first month, so it's not really a 100% reading, but we'll at least get a feel for what our strengths and weaknesses are. Stuart Skinner, of course, is injured with a sprained ankle until November 4th. That is unfortunate. We'll have to replace player for a month. So I guess Rodrigue will get in there. Or whoever else the backup goaltender is down there. So 2-3 to start the season. For the most part, I'm liking what I'm seeing. A 4-2 loss against Dallas, but other than that, and of course the 4-3 loss against Calgary, which we saw in regulation, and now, of course, as I say, what I was about to say, we start dropping some more games. I was about to say that I'm liking what we're doing for the most part, but now, not so much. Come on, boys. There you go. We had a solid 2 games to end the month. Unfortunately, a little bit of a losing streak in there. You got 5 losses in the last 6 games in these past 2 weeks right here with St. Louis, Dallas, the Islanders, a shootout loss to Arizona, and then a 2-1 loss to Boston. So you started out 2-1, then you dropped 5 of 6, then you got another 2 wins. So inconsistency in that month definitely killed us. Hopefully that doesn't, that's not the case for the entire season, as we did make a pretty big trade bringing Tyson Barrie onto this roster. Was it an aggressive trade? Yeah, maybe, but I feel like this team can do it. So why not? McDavid and Marner, of course, above a point per game, 12 points each. That is more like it. And that's probably thanks to Tyson Barrie. That is more than likely thanks to Tyson Barrie, just based off what both of them did last year. I mean, McDavid had the most points with 69 in 82 games. So if these two can stay on this pace, that'd be great. Puljujarvi with 7. Johan Larsson with 6. He continues to impress early on in each season here. Adam Larson as well with 5 points. Dzingel with 5. Ratty, Clefbaum, Barrie all with 5. Gagne with 4. Draisaitl only with 3 so far. So maybe we take a look at that second line. Kara with 3. Nuge with 3. Yeah, something is not quite right with that second line. Obviously, Puljujarvi's producing, but Draisaitl and Nuge should be doing a bit more. Nurse with 3. Yamamoto with 2 so far. Bouchard with 2. Byram with 2. Maroon with 1. Bear hasn't played. Marody hasn't played. Shots on the net. McDavid, of course, has the most, 47, compared to Dzingel and Marner with 27, are the second most. And not getting any goals. Shooting percentage. Johan Larsson, of course, with 23.1 on 13 shots. 14.8 for Marner on 27. And a 12.8 for McDavid on 47. Let's see face-offs. So McDavid with a 57.2, he's doing just fine. Draisaitl 56.1. Glad that we have them both as centers. Gagne and Kara 44 and 43.2. So face-offs for the bottom 6 is definitely an issue. How was Carroll last year at faceoffs? I can't remember. Because if he was below... Oh, yeah. Well, he played wing most of the year, it looks like. Yeah, we might want someone else for the faceoffs on that on that fourth line. And then Gagne, yeah, he's not the greatest at faceoffs either. So maybe we'll look to get help at center. That could be an upgrade that we make this season. Connor McDavid with 26 hits, so he's just doing everything. He's a madman. Draisaitl with 23, Nurse with 20, 16 for Dzingel, Klefbom, and Puljujarvi, 15 for Gagne and Byram, 13 for Barry and Larson, 12 for the other Larson, 10 for Kara, 9 for Maroon, 5 for Ratty, 4 for Marner, 3 for Yamamoto. We know those guys down there aren't going to hit. Blocks, who leads forwards? That would be Ty Ratty with 3, and McDavid also with 3. Barry leads in blocks for defenseman with 24. Yeah, good idea picking him up so far. Nuge with 13 takeaways to 8 giveaways, 11-7 for Dzingel, 11-4 for Marner, 9-4 for McDavid, 7-1 for Draisaitl. So all these guys doing very well defensively so far. It's just I kind of wish that second line with Draisaitl and Nuge would be doing a bit better offensively. I mean, obviously, you know, Puljujarvi's doing fine, but these two, they definitely have another gear. I'll say that much. 6-5 for Johan Larsson, pretty good. 6-2 for Gagne. 6-8 for Darnell Nurse, that's good. 6-7 for Oscar Klefbom, that's also very good. 5-4 for Patrick Maroon. 5-8 for Bouchard, that's fine by me for right now. Tyson Barrie with a 4-11, but he is getting offense. He's also eating up a good chunk of ice time, 26.54 per game so far. Jeez, he's a beast. 4-13 for Adam Larson, not pretty. Wish he could improve on that. 4-4 for Ty Ratty. 4-7 for Jesse Puljujarvi. He is getting offense. 3-3 for Kara. 3-2 for Yamamoto. Not bad. On the fourth line. 2-7 for Bowen Byram. A bit rough to start out his career. He is being physical though. He is getting some blocks. So, and he's 19. He's got tons of potential on him. I'm not worried about Bowen Byram just yet. Especially being in the NHL at 19 years of age as a defenseman. No fights so far. And for goaltenders, Robin Leonard, 916 save percentage, not too shabby. 875 for Mrazek into 2 games played. He had a rough go there against Calgary in that first game of the season. But luckily, Robin Leonard has been pretty solid so far. So, I would say my biggest complaints with this team so far has to be face-offs, and yeah, honestly, mainly face-offs. So we should definitely look to improve that, and for the majority of our forwards' defensive ratios, everything's looking fine. So honestly, if we could find some help with the face-offs, I think that would help a lot for this team. And let's check out the AHL just to end off the episode. No more simulating in this one. It's already been quite a long one. Wisniewski with 7 points in 8 games. So a solid start to his career. Ryan McLeod was 6-8. Not bad. And who else are we concerned about down here? We're concerned about Skinner, who was injured. So can't really judge that one game just yet. So that'll just about do it for this one. We are, of course, going to check the team stats before we end things off, just to see if there's any special teams we can improve on. But if not, then we'll end it off there. 2.73 goals for per game. Not too bad. We're second in our division. Goals against per game, 2.64. Not too bad. We're third in our division. Let's see. Power play, 19.2. Third in our division. So we're at least in the top half of our division for everything so far, other than penalty kill. Okay, so the penalty kill can definitely improve. 67.9 on 28 opportunities. 9 power play goals against. That needs to be fixed. So I'll show you guys the penalty kill one more time, I suppose, before we end things off. Just to see if you guys have any suggestions for what we could change the power play or the penalty kill lines to. So currently they're sitting at Draisaitl and Johan Larsson with Nurse and Barrie, and then Kara with Dzingel, Klefbom, and Larsson. So you guys let me know what we should change as far as the penalty kill goes, as far as maybe getting another face-off taking center. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we continue the Year 3 simulation.